Hello. Ready to tackle another interesting question from the chapter Playing with Numbers? Perfect. Now, this question asks us to match the items in column 1 with the items in column 2. So, basically, in column 1, we have been given some numbers, and in column 2, we have been given some options of multiples and factors. What we have to do is we have to match each of these numbers with the right option. So, how do we go about this one? Well, what we can do is we can take each of these numbers and try to associate it with each of these options to understand which option matches best. Sounds like a good approach? Great. Let's begin with the first one. So in column 1, the first number is 35. And in column 2, the first option is multiple of 8. So, can 35 be a multiple of 8? Well, 8 is an even number, right? And a multiple of an even number will always be an even number. Now, 35 is not an even number, it is an odd number. So, no, 35 can never be a multiple of 8. Let us now look at option B. Option B is multiple of 7. Can 35 be a multiple of 7? Well, we know that 7 into 5 is 35, right? Clearly, 35 belongs to the table of 7, and we have already discussed that if a number belongs to a table of a given number, then that number is a multiple of the given number. Clearly, 35 is a multiple of 7. Let us now look at the second number. The second number is 15. So, we will start with A again. Can 15 be a multiple of 8? Well, 15 is also odd and a multiple of 8 will always be even. So no, 15 can never be a multiple of 8. Now option B is taken, so we move on to option C. Option C is multiple of 70. Can 15 ever be a multiple of 70? Well, 15 is less than 70, right? And we have studied that a multiple of 70 or a multiple of any number is either equal to or greater than that number. Here, the multiple of 70 would always be either 70 or greater than 70. Clearly, 15 is not greater than 70. So, no, 15 can never be a multiple of 70. So, let's look at the next option. Option D is factor of 30. Can 15 be a factor of 30? Let's try the factors of 30 to find out. As always, we start with 1 and the number itself. So, 1 and 30 are factors of 30. What comes after 1? 2, right? And we know that 2 into 15 is 30. Clearly, 15 is a factor of 30. So, yes, the answer here is option D. Let us now look at the third number. Here we have the number 16. So we start with A again. Can 16 be a multiple of 8? Well, 16 is first of all an even number, so it can be a multiple of 8. And all of us know that 8 into 2 is 16. 16 clearly belongs to the table of 8. So yes, 16 is a multiple of 8. So the answer here is option A. Let us move on to number 4. The fourth number is 20. So A is taken, B is taken, we look at C. Can 20 be a multiple of 70? Of course not. We have already discussed a multiple of 70 will either be equal to 70 or greater than 70. So no, 20 cannot be a multiple of 70. Now option D is taken, so we look at option E. So, can 20 be a factor of 50? Well, a factor is nothing but an exact divisor, right? So, let's try to divide 50 by 20 and see if the remainder is 0. 20 into 2 is 40, right? See, the remainder is not 0, it is 10. So, 20 is not an exact divisor of 50, or in other words, 20 cannot be a factor of 50. We move on to the next option. Option F is factor of 20. Can 20 be a factor of 20? Of course, we have already studied that there are two factors of a number by default. The first factor is the number 1 And the second factor is the number itself. 20 is indeed a factor of 20. So the answer to option 4 is F. So now let's come to the last number. Interestingly, if you notice, in column 1 we have been given 5 numbers, and in column 2 we have been given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 options. Why do you think is this done? Well, if we just had 5 options here, after finding the solution of number 4, the fifth option would of course be the option of 25, right? So to not make it obvious, we have been given 6 options. So now, A is taken, B is taken, we look at C. Can 25 be a multiple of 70? Of course not. 25 is less than 70. So 25 cannot be a multiple of 70. In fact, this is actually a dummy option because none of these numbers are greater than 70. So none of them can be a multiple of 70. So finally, is 25 a factor of 50? Of course it is. We know that 2 into 25 is 50, right? 25 is indeed a factor of 50. So the answer to part 5 is E. See, we got all the answers. Let us just write it here. For the first number 35, the option is B. For the second number 15, the option is D, right? Correct. For the third number 16, the option is A. For the fourth number, that's 20, the option is F. And for the fifth number, 25, the option is E. So let's revise. 35 is a multiple of 7, 15 is a factor of 30, 16 is a multiple of 8, 20 is a factor of 20, and 25 is a factor of 50. So now that we have got all the answers, our solution is complete. I hope you enjoyed this video and also learned from it. For more such interesting videos, keep watching Tutorix.